A billionaire's card just got declined at the checkout, and the poor little girl standing behind him did something that no one saw coming. Picture this. You're at the store, minding your own business, when suddenly the richest person in the room can't pay for their stuff. Embarrassing, right? But what happened next at this ordinary grocery store will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about wealth, kindness, and what it means to be truly rich. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you're going to see the world completely differently. It was a regular Tuesday afternoon at a grocery store in Denver, Colorado. Nothing special, just people buying milk, bread, the usual stuff. But standing in line 7 was James Crawford. If you don't know who that is, just know this. The guy owns half the real estate in Colorado. Hotels, office buildings, shopping malls. He's worth about $3 billion. Yeah, billion with a B. James was grabbing some last-minute items for a dinner party he was hosting. Expensive cheese, fancy crackers, a bottle of wine that cost more than most people's weekly groceries. He wasn't really paying attention to anything around him, just scrolling through emails on his phone, probably closing another $1 million deal while waiting in line. The cashier rang everything up. $247. James pulled out his platinum credit card, the one with no limit, and handed it over without even looking up from his phone. The machine beeped. Payment declined. The cashier, a young woman named Rebecca, looked confused. She tried swiping it again. Declined. She looked at James nervously. Sir? Your card isn't going through. James finally looked up from his phone, annoyed. That's impossible. Run it again. She did. Same thing. Declined. Now James was getting frustrated. He pulled out another card. Declined. Then another one. Also declined. His face started turning red. The people behind him were getting restless, checking their watches, sighing loudly. What James didn't know was that his accountant had screwed up big time that morning. Some technical error had frozen all his accounts temporarily. It would get fixed in a few hours. But right now, in this moment, one of the richest men in Colorado couldn't buy his fancy cheese. This is ridiculous, James muttered, pulling out his wallet and checking for cash. Nothing. Not even a 20. Who carries cash anymore, right? He looked at Rebecca. There must be something wrong with your system. Sir, I've tried 4 different cards. Maybe you could call your bank. The line behind him was getting longer. People were mumbling. A couple of them had their phones out, probably recognizing him. This was about to become a social media nightmare. James felt something he hadn't felt in decades. Embarrassment. Real, gut-twisting embarrassment. Here he was, Mr. Billionaire, and he couldn't pay for groceries. He was about to tell Rebecca to cancel the whole thing when he felt a small hand tug on his jacket. He turned around and looked down. There was a little girl, maybe 8 years old, with blonde hair and 2 braids. She wore a faded purple jacket. That was clearly too small for her and sneakers that had seen better days. Her name was Lily. Mister, she said quietly, holding up a $10 bill. You can have this. James just stared at her. The entire line went silent. Everyone was watching this moment unfold. What? James said, not quite understanding. You need money, right? For your food. Lily held the bill out further. It's okay. You can have it. James looked from the little girl to the $10 bill in her hand. It was crumpled and worn, like it had been folded and unfolded 100 times. This wasn't just $10 to this kid. This was probably everything she had. Behind Lily stood her mom, Maria, wearing a cleaning company uniform. She looked mortified. Lily, no, honey, you can't. But Mom, he needs help, Lily said, still holding out the money to James. James knelt down so he was at eye level with Lily. Up close, he could see her jacket had a small tear in it. Her shoes were held together with duct tape on one side. And yet here she was, offering him her money. Sweetheart, I can't take your money, James said, his voice softer than it had been in years. Why not? You need it more than me right now. Those words hit James like a truck. She was right. In this moment, he did need it more than her. Not because he was actually broke, but because he was stuck, helpless. And this child with almost nothing was the only one willing to help him. How much is your stuff? Lily asked, looking at the groceries on the counter. It's $247, Rebecca said quietly, watching this whole thing with tears in her eyes. Lily looked at her $10 bill, then back at James. Oh, that's not enough. She thought for a second, then started taking off her little backpack. Wait, I have more at home. I've been saving for a new bike, but… No, James said quickly, his own eyes getting wet now. No, sweetie, you keep your money. All of it. I'm going to figure this out. But I want to help you, Lily said simply, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. James looked at Maria, Lily's mom. She had tears running down her face. She gave him a small nod, like she was proud of her daughter, but also apologizing for the situation. Something cracked inside James right then. This little girl, who had every reason to hold on to her money, who probably needed it more than he'd ever needed anything in his life, was trying to help a stranger. A stranger in an expensive suit who clearly had money, or at least looked like he did. When was the last time James had helped someone without expecting something in return? When was the last time he'd done anything that wasn't about making more money or closing another deal? He couldn't remember. James stood up. Tell you what, Lily, I'm going to take your very generous offer, but only as a loan. I'll pay you back with interest. Deal. Lily's face lit up. Deal. She handed him the $10 bill. James turned to Rebecca. Just ring up what this covers. He grabbed a candy bar from the rack and handed it to Lily. And add this for my new business partner here. Rebecca rang up the candy bar. With tax, it was $3.75. James handed over Lily's 10 and got back $6.25 in change. He gave all of it back to Lily along with the candy bar. Thank you for saving me back there, James said. You're a good person, Lily. Don't ever change that. Lily beamed at him and ran back to her mom, who hugged her tight. James left his fancy groceries on the counter and walked out of that store a different man than when he walked in. The next day, after his accounts were unfrozen and he dealt with firing his accountant, James had his assistant track down Maria. Wasn't hard. Small community. And people remembered the little girl who tried to help the billionaire. He showed up at their apartment building on the south side of Denver. It was old, kind of run down, but clean. Maria answered the door in the same cleaning uniform, about to head to her second job. Mr. Crawford? What are you doing here? I came to pay back my loan, James said, holding out an envelope. Maria opened it carefully. Inside was the $10 bill Lily had given him, along with a check for $100,000. She nearly fainted. I can't accept this. This is insane. Lily was just being nice. She didn't. Mrs. Rodriguez, your daughter taught me something yesterday that I'd forgotten a long time ago. She reminded me what it means to actually care about another human being. That check isn't charity. It's a thank you for raising someone with a better heart than most people I know. Maria started crying. She told him everything. How her husband had died 3 years ago in a construction accident. How she worked 3 jobs to keep them afloat. How Lily never complained, never asked for anything. Always shared whatever she had with kids at school who had even less. That $10 was her birthday money from her grandmother, Maria said. She was saving up for a bike. She's wanted one for 2 years now. James felt like someone had punched him in the stomach. She tried to give me her birthday money? That's just who she is, Maria said proudly. James made a decision right there. What if I could help you? Not just with money, but really help. Over the next few weeks, James did something he'd never done before. He got personally involved. He didn't just throw money at the problem. He showed up. He helped Maria find a better job, one job that paid more than her 3 combined. He set up a college fund for Lily. He bought her that bike she wanted, and then helped her learn to ride it in the park. But more than that, he started spending time with them. Real time. He'd show up for dinner sometimes, just eating spaghetti at their small kitchen table, listening to Lily talk about school, about her friends, about the stray dog she wanted to adopt. James had a daughter himself, but he barely knew her. She was away at boarding school, and when she was home, he was always working. They'd become strangers. Watching Lily and Maria, seeing their relationship, made him realize what he'd been missing. 3 months after that day in the grocery store, James made another big decision. He started a foundation. Not the kind where you just donate money from behind a desk, but one where he actually worked with families struggling to make ends meet. Single parents, people drowning in medical debt, kids who needed help. He called it the Lily Foundation. When he told Lily and Maria about it, Lily asked him why he named it after her. Because you reminded me of something important, James said. You reminded me that being rich has nothing to do with how much money you have. It's about how much you're willing to give, even when you don't have much to give. You were the richest person in that store that day, Lily, and you didn't even know it. Lily hugged him tight. Does this mean we're friends now? James hugged her back, actually crying for the first time in 20 years. Yeah, kiddo. We're friends. James still runs his businesses. He's still a billionaire. But now when he goes to board meetings, he brings a crumpled $10 bill with him in his wallet. Lily's $10 bill. He had it laminated. It sits right next to his credit cards, reminding him every single day what really matters. He reconnected with his own daughter, started actually being a dad instead of just a checkbook. He spends his weekends differently now. Sometimes he's at charity events for his foundation. Sometimes he's just riding bikes with Lily in the park. Both feel equally important. Maria quit all her jobs and now runs the day-to-day operations of the Lily Foundation. She helps other single parents navigate the same struggles she went through. She gets it in a way James never could. And together they've helped hundreds of families get back on their feet. That grocery store incident could have just been an embarrassing story James forgot about. But instead, it became the moment that changed everything. Because a little girl with a $10 bill and a heart bigger than the Rocky Mountains showed a billionaire what he'd been missing his whole life. See, here's what most people don't understand about wealth. You can have all the money in the world and still be completely broke in the ways that actually matter. James had billions, but he was bankrupt in kindness, empty in empathy, poor in the things that make life worth living. Lily had $10 and was richer than he'd ever been. That's the thing about true generosity. It's not about how much you give. It's about being willing to give everything you have when someone needs it. Lily was ready to give up her bike fund, her birthday money, everything, for a stranger who looked like he needed help. How many of us would do that? Really? We walk past people who need help every single day. We make excuses. We say we're too busy, we don't have enough, it's not our problem. But Lily didn't make excuses. She just helped. James tells this story now at every speaking event he does. He shows that laminated $10 bill and talks about the day a second grader taught a billionaire what it means to be truly wealthy. People laugh, they cry, and then hopefully they go out and do something kind for someone else. Because that's what this is really about. It's about remembering that we're all connected, that your small act of kindness might be exactly what someone needs to remember their own humanity. Whether you're a billionaire or a kid with $10, you have something valuable to offer this world. Don't wait until your card gets declined to figure out what really matters. Watch what happens when this billionaire does something unbelievable next.